Hey y'all, welcome to the Pungo Prairie. I know, a lot of y'all been saying, hey Dixon, when you gonna get out a new video? Well, to tell you the truth, ever since we opened up Pungo Boys BBQ restaurant back in January, there just doesn't seem to be enough hours in the day. That restaurant's a lot of work, but it's all good. We're having fun. Lots of folks are traveling from all over to come in and enjoy some really great barbecue. Shoot, even a lot of y'all have been in, and we're really thankful for that, and it was so good to see you. And quite honestly, I've had this video almost finished for, I don't know, maybe a month and a half now. I just haven't gotten around to shooting the introduction to it until now. But I hope you find that it's going to be worth waiting for. And it takes us back to this past fall when Tali girl and I was still in our mountain camp for Thanksgiving. And as everybody knows, Thanksgiving was quite a bit different, at least for a lot of us, because of everything that was going on. People were staying home, they weren't traveling, and they were kind of just gathered in small groups. But Tali girl and I, we decided that we had so much to be thankful for that we was going to have our own little Thanksgiving celebration. And we decided to roast up a turkey over the campfire and fix all the trimmings. So if you want to see how it turned out, don't go nowhere, because you don't want to miss this. Sunshine, you a little sleepyhead this morning. I was tired. Oh my goodness. Tali girl, you know what today is, baby? Honey, you know what today is? Today is Turkey Day. It's Turkey Day, Tali girl. Yes, it is. Thanksgiving Day 2020. Alright, can you be still while Daddy takes a sip of his coffee? Hold you down right there. Hold you. That's good this morning. It's supposed to be a pretty day today. We got a lot to do for Thanksgiving. We got to roast a turkey over the campfire. That should be interesting. Yeah, that should be interesting. Oh my goodness. Hold still. Oh. Hey dog. I love you. I'm thankful for you, Tali dog. I'm thankful for you too, Daddy. Let's see here. Today is Thursday, November the 26th, 2020. What was it in 2013 on this date? Home for Saskatchewan, sitting by my fire. Good to be home. Getting ready to leave for the mountains for Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving, shucks, I must have got home just the day before Thanksgiving. Be already the 26th. 2014. Woke up to a beautiful silent snowfall outside the tent beside the creek this morning at Bratton's Run. I think that was the morning, the day, that was Thanksgiving Day. And I think that's the day I filmed my tent camp collard video. 2015, celebrating another Thanksgiving at the cabin. Trey, Carolyn, and Ella are here. Wow. 2015. Sophia wasn't born until 2016. And I think that's the last time Trey and Carolyn have been able to get here for Thanksgiving. 2017. Crazy 60-mile-an-hour plus gust of wind came roaring through at midnight, knocked over the table, and sent my video camera flying across the floor. Broke the new light. Scared the crap out of me. I guess it did. Not a cloud in the sky. Only a zillion stars. That was a freak thing. 2019. Susie, Dave, Mom, Robin, Jesse coming in today. Justin and Christy's mom tomorrow. I sure do miss my Carolyn, Ella, Sophia, and little Will. Oh, in Afton. Yeah, in Afton. Couldn't make that out in the poor light here. We are preparing for another cabin Thanksgiving. Thinking of Dad, Drew, Eddie, Ron, Reggie, Bobby, Seth, and Uncle Bruce. Yeah, it's another Thanksgiving. It's a different kind of Thanksgiving this year, though, isn't it, Tally girl? You want to come back over here see Daddy? I'm just going to lay there on Daddy's bed. Yeah, it's a different Thanksgiving this year. The royal governor has decreed no large family gatherings for Thanksgiving. So like the good little subjects we are, we're all staying sheltered in place, huddling our little small groups for Thanksgiving. Immediate family only. I guess it's just you and me in our immediate family now these days, isn't it, baby? Families that live together anyway. But that's okay. We're going to still have a celebration. We'll cook a turkey. And we're going to give thanks. Because there is, after all, so much to be thankful for. Like that deer hanging out there in that tree right now. Been a long time since Daddy pulled the trigger on one up here. across the river, baby. Yeah, Daddy, it was a little tricky though. You're such a daredevil. Yeah, Daddy, I know. But hey, there might have been some more mice over there. Tali girl, you are a trip. Okay, I got our turkey. It's been thawing out in the cooler since Sunday. Today's Tuesday, but to tell you the truth, it's still pretty frozen. So this is a 12.29 pound bird, almost 13 pounds. So first thing I'm gonna do is flip him over and kind of pat him dry here. Now I'm gonna try this dry brine that my buddy Steve told me about, and he likes to use kosher salt. I don't have that, but I do have some of this pink Himalayan sea salt. Imagine that in deer camp. And it's got a nice coarse grind, so I'm going to start with that on the bottom, kind of on these thighs here. Just want to rub that salt in. Then I've got some just some paprika that he likes to use. So we're going on with the paprika, and then some black pepper. And go on with a little bit more salt. Flip over a bird. Kind of get the sides here. Now Steve, he likes to spatchcock his turkey when he does this, and I would do that, except I don't get a spatchcock turkey in that Dutch oven over the campfire. I don't think. I could just cut it in half and do half of it. I may do that before it's all over with. Now, according to Steve's recipe, the ideal brine time is 3 days. So that's what we're going to do. It'll kind of almost be 3 full days, but it's a small bird, so we might be okay. Now what this is supposed to do is draw the moisture out of the skin of that bird, so you get a nice crisped up skin. Now I'm just going to take a bird here and set it in the cooler here and keep it on ice on the bottom of the pan. And I'm just going to keep that lid cracked open there on that cooler with that turkey sitting in that pan on that ice, and just kind of let it do a dry age, a dry cure with that dry brine. Well, I had to make one little adjustment. My turkey was about 3/4 of an inch too high for me being able to get the lid on that Dutch oven shut. So I had to split it in half, and I'm going to roast this half in the Dutch oven over the campfire, and I'm going to smoke this half in a little Weber kettle smoker. Got all the good stuff ready here to make up our stock for our collard greens. First thing we're going to do is fry up that bacon. I'm going to go ahead on in there with our ham hock. Okay, our diced up onion and minced up garlic. Our chicken stock. Deglaze the bottom of that pan a little bit. I'm going to use maybe about a half a can or so of our Rotel, because that's just a small batch of collards I'm cooking up today. Now I don't have any brown sugar, which is what I normally use, but I do have some turbinado sugar, which would be the next best thing. So I'm going to put a little bit of that in there, because we've got to have some sweetness going on in our collard greens. Alright, I'm just going to put the lid on that and cook down that hock and have a big old happy marriage going on in there with that pot liquor. Alright, I'm going to get our turkey ready here that we're going to roast. I'm going to put a little of this Cajun Creole butter injection in him here. Might as well use some of this injection marinade in this half we're gonna smoke up. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get going on our smoked turkey. Put a couple chunks of that oak right there. I'm gonna take this little piece of foil, just like so. It's kind of a heat shield. I'm gonna go right on here with some apple, some celery, a little bit of onion, and then right on with our bird. Now normally when I smoke a turkey, I like to baste it with maple syrup. But I don't have any maple syrup. But I do have some of this Highland County, which is famous for maple syrup, honey butter. So I'm just going to spread some of that on there. I might have to put the lid on in a minute and get it loosened up a bit, huh? Okay, now that we got our honey butter kind of slathered around there, I'm going to sprinkle over top a little bit of this heaven-made amazing Cajun. And I got one little place on top that lid wants to stick. I'm going to put a little piece of aluminum foil right there to those apples and onions cook down a little bit. And we got our turkey smoking now. I think it's going to be pretty good. Might be a blessing in disguise that that whole bird wouldn't fit in that Dutch oven. This way we get to have the best of both worlds. Alright, got a little bit of country sage sausage browning up in the pan here. Okay, into our sausage goes our diced up onions and celery and diced up water chestnut. A couple teaspoons of butter, tablespoons of butter. Kind of saute all that together a little bit. I'll add a little bit of poultry seasoning in there. And I don't have pine nuts, but I got a little handful of these Virginia Diner peanuts. Collard stock is ready. I've already prepared our greens. Took that big stem, that big heavy duty stem out, and cut them in little pieces here. And we're going to start adding them to the pot and cooking them down, and believe it or not, they will all fit. Alright, I got our sausage and celery, onions and peanuts and water chestnuts and some chicken stock in this little bowl. I'm going to add 1 egg to it. Give all that a nice stir around. Alright, I got some couple of diced up green onions, some freeze-dried parsley. And then goes about a half a bag. This ain't cornbread. I thought it was cornbread. Oh my goodness, Dixon, you need to start wearing glasses, son. That's alright. It's what we got. We got it now. I've had our Dutch oven preheating over this fire. I have no idea what the temperature is in there. Everybody knows you're supposed to roast a turkey at 325, but I don't want my turkey to burn on the bottom, so I'm going to add some onions and some celery and some apples here. Kind of give it a little cushion. In goes our bird. Alright, on with our lid. Got some coals here, been heating up. And this little chimney starter, put a few of those right on top. All right, we're gonna let her go for a little while, see what we got. Try to control the heat on the bottom with just this fire I got off to the side. And we are definitely in uncharted waters here. The plan was, had that whole bird fit in that Dutch oven, I was gonna cook the stuffing in the bird. The plan was to have cornbread stuffing. The plan was that the whole family was coming up for Thanksgiving. But you know what? My daddy always said, the only thing constant is change. In the Lord, the good Lord, I think if you want to hear a good laugh out of him, just tell him your plans. So we're going to bake up this stuffing casserole style in the little Camp Chef oven. But we're not going to put it in quite yet. I'm just going to set it in the refrigerator. Like I got a refrigerator in the cooler till we're ready to cook it, because I don't think it's going to take more than an hour for that. Well, we're about 3 hours in on our smoked turkey. Let's see how that's coming along here. Yeah, you got about another 10 degrees to go on her. Okay, we're about an hour in on our roast turkey here. We're getting a little browning action going on. Let's see what we got here. We're about 123 degrees. Dixon, next time, get the turkey in the pot so it's not crossways to the handle. But it ain't looking bad. Put a few more pieces of this charcoal up here. Yeah, that one's gonna slice up good for some sandwiches. Okay, we're coming up on not quite 2 hours, but I think we should just about be there. Let's see what we got. 165. I'm gonna set our bird right down there on that stump. Let it rest for a little bit. I'm thinking our smoked bird should be there. I'm gonna just let that top stay right on off there and let that bird rest. I'll probably lift it right out of here with my hands would be best. It's a little hot, but oh, yeah, that's a little hot, all right. Let's see here if I can get these tongs underneath it. Right on into this roasting pan. I'm just going to scoop out these apples and onions and celery here and keep that liquid to make the gravy. That is going to be fantastic. That's going to be some epic turkey gravy right there. Yes, sir. That is going to be some epic turkey gravy. All right, I had our giblets boiling up in that little pan on the wood stove. I'm going to chop up our liver, heart and everything here for some giblet gravy. Let's add our chopped up giblets back to the pot here. The heart was kind of chopped up. We're going to add some of that liquid there. We might add more once we put the flour in it. See how we're going to thicken it up. Get our potatoes all cut up here and boiled up for our mashed potatoes. Put them all right in this little pot. Not even going to wash it. Kelly girl, that turkey's resting. We're waiting for that dressing to finish baking off. I'm going to enjoy a little appetizer here or some Brother Captain Drew's world famous clam dip and chips. My brother Drew, I know y'all have heard me, some of you anyway have heard me speak of him as being a boat captain, and this was his recipe for clam dip. And I actually did a video on it. It's very simple. Check it out. Captain Drew's clam dip and chips, right here on Pungo Prairie YouTube. You won't be disappointed if you like clams. Not used to being this quiet here on Thanksgiving. Seeing as how for the last 40 or more years the whole family's been gathered here to celebrate. There's nobody here but me and Tali girl. I miss them, but I'm kind of enjoying the peace and quiet too. Beautiful Thanksgiving day, like early fall. Almost 60 degrees, sunshine. I'll be glad when the temperature drops just a little bit though, because it's getting on the high side for that deer hanging. It's going to dip back down in the low 40s tonight and be in the 40s tomorrow. So we're going to let him hang at least another day. That's what really makes that meat good. Let it dry air age like that. Come on. You having a good time, Tali girl? Come on, baby. Look at that gravy. Gonna throw in a little bit of this gravy flour here. This stuff's the bomb right here. You don't have to worry about it lumping up on your sugar potatoes. And it's time to carve up our bird. All right. First thing we're gonna do is separate off that leg. Instead of cutting down on that breast, you cut like this. Oh, that's so nice and tender. Oh, that don't suck, y'all. I know we didn't say blessing yet. I'm just having a sample. Look at our little wood pile buffet with the collard greens, campfire roasted turkey, the stuffing, the cranberry sauce. I knew something was missing. The cream potatoes. Dixon, come make a plate, son. Alright. The stuffing. Maybe a little bit more than that. And our potatoes. We're going to use the same spoon because it's just Me and Tali, girl. Now, that skin, that's gonna be good stuff. That seasoning I had on there. Get us some collard greens, some of that ham hock going on. You know we gotta have the whole cranberry sauce. I need another little piece of that turkey right there. Fill in that spot. Cover it all up with some of this epic giblet gravy. Get it on the turkey. Go right down here on this stump. Light Miss Laura's candle. Man, Tali girl. We're gonna sit right down here, this little stump for our table, and have our Thanksgiving turkey. Come here, baby. Come here. Huh. Look at this. Come on, we're gonna say blessing. Come on. Come on, we're gonna say blessing. Come here. Oh my goodness, y'all. This is different. But I already tasted that turkey. That turkey's right on time. I mean, I never did it before. I didn't know what to expect. But other than having to cut it in half because I couldn't fit the whole bird in the pot, that was a little disappointing. But not when you factor in we got that smoked bird. Tali, you want to say blessing or me? Daddy, you better say it. Okay, baby. Precious Lord God, Father Almighty, maker of heaven and earth. Thank you for this time, this place, everything that you provided this week, the bountiful harvest from the field and of your fresh venison. I want to pray, Lord, right now for our country, for our families that aren't with us, that are scattered about in their homes and wherever they are, enjoying this day, giving thanks to you for our many blessings. Watch over them, keep them, be with those that need your healing power. And Lord, I want to thank you for my YouTube family that's joining me right here, right now. A lot of them wanted to see a Thanksgiving video, and then we knew we weren't going to really have the normal Thanksgiving. So I got this brainstorm. But it's been fun. And it's going to be good. Thank you, Lord, now. Bless this food and nourish our bodies and strengthen us for life in thee. And this little brown dog. Through Jesus we pray. Amen. Daddy, I want some turkey. Tali, girl, I guess you do want some turkey. All right, stay there. Daddy, get you some turkey. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, I want it, Daddy. What do you think? Here, some more. That turkey is tender and juicy, still juicy. That campfire gravy, those apples and celery and onions on the bottom with all that turkey juice cooking down on it. That's an awesome gravy. I never had that like that before, but I'm going to tell you something. That's right on time. And I'm going to tell you something else. This Bratton's Run by the Creek tent campfire roasted Thanksgiving turkey dinner, well, it's mighty tasty. And that, girls and boys, is what's cooking for Thanksgiving here on Pungo Prairie. Happy Thanksgiving. We got a Merry Christmas coming up.
My daddy always said the only thing constant is change. There certainly is a big change in the way our family has celebrated our decades-old tradition for Thanksgiving in this year of uncertainty here in 2020. But no matter how the tide ebbs and flows throughout our lives, it is always of utmost importance to reflect upon those many things we all have to be thankful for, to count our many blessings, and then to offer up prayers of thanksgiving. because it is through acknowledgement and praise to our Creator for what has been provided unto us, the currents continue to flow, thus keeping the channels open, through which many more blessings will meander around treacherous shoals and continue to navigate their way for safe passage and delivery to the safe harbor of our grateful hearts. It is in this spirit of thanksgiving that we find our true joy in living. As you all know by now, I am a hunter, and how I so look forward to hunting season every year. The best kind of hunt is not confined to a season. It is the hunt for joy, as my friend Jen has proclaimed. Thanksgiving is key to a successful hunt for joy. The one feeds off the other and becomes infectious to others around and in our lives. I guess if there is one thing to be learned from all of this, should it be to not confine Thanksgiving to a single season as well?
Yeah, good Thanksgiving dinner with Tali girl. Yeah, Daddy, we had a good day. Yes, we did. Missed all the people, so Daddy. Daddy missed them too. Missed them too. Happy Thanksgiving, Tali girl. Happy Thanksgiving, Daddy.